We are in San Juan, Puerto Rico right now, on our way home to Newport, Rhode Island. The plan is to go through the Bahamas. With the COVID-19 stuff going on, we're keeping track of the situation. We heard a rumor from our neighbors today that we are not going to be able to go through the Bahamas. We are searching online to try to see if that's really the case. So far, we haven't had any luck corroborating that.
Well, I'm not seeing anything on news site. I went right to the customs page for Bahamas. I went right to immigration page for Bahamas. So I'm not seeing any recent updates. But I think we have to start figuring out plans B and C and D because yeah, I think the situation's changing rapidly. I found another website from the U.S. Embassy in Bahamas, and the last update is still the one that I'm seeing back from about a week ago. So according to this, as of today, we're okay. So I'm not sure what our neighbors are saying.
When we know there's a big passage coming up, there's always a little bit of nervousness and apprehension. With the COVID virus stuff going on now, potentially adding more complications, it's just adding to that a little bit. But for now, we're just doing the regular pre-flight checkups and getting ready for a passage. And after a lot of futzing with the UI, there's some waypoints for where we should be in 12-hour increments. Good idea to check all the bimini tubing. This stuff isn't just pretty, it's what you hang on to, and you don't want it to come off in your hand and go overboard. So it's one thing we go over all these fasteners and snug them up, make sure none of them are backing out.
Some pre-passage meal preps, lentil pasta, and something with chicken that I haven't yet determined. But okay, we've cleaned the strainers, taken care of the dinghy and the outboard, put in the waypoints. Still need to check the speedo, fill up our water tanks. We need to pay Errol for the varnishing work, check out of the marina, that's tomorrow morning. Do the satellite test and the email to the shore crew. Meal preps are done. We're getting there. Making a little hole in the boat. Cleaning the paddle wheel here so we can get accurate speed measurements. Gets credit up, especially when we've been on a dock for a few days.
Just reading Ken's preliminary forecast. I think we're going to be fine. We're going to go fast. If we leave in the afternoon tomorrow, it's the sea states. Shouldn't be too bad. Famous last words, maybe, but we'll see.
Okay, seas are a little big leaving San Juan Harbor. I think they're going to calm down a little bit when we get in deeper water. Mostly around 6-footers, but I've seen some 8 and 10-footers. Nice long periods. I'll be able to fall off another 20 degrees, so I think we'll be close to a beam reach, which is good. We thought we were going to be sailing higher this first afternoon.
So far, fairly easy conditions here. Big, long period swells. Some of them are pretty big, but they're very long period, just rolling us onto the side. Wind's been between 9 and 15, pretty much around 12 almost all the time. And it's actually getting a little bit more behind the beam, or not behind the beam, but it's getting to the beam now. We're getting a better angle. So far, so good.
We're not sure what to expect when we arrive in Bahamas. We started to hear rumors yesterday about Bahamas denying entrance, but we're making our way there and hopefully we'll clear in okay. If not, we've done a little bit of extra provisioning and made sure we've got as much water as we can carry in case we need to continue on from there. So we'll know in a few days. Bob's napping down below. It's about 18:30, almost 8 hours into our first day. It's been a really good start to this passage. We've been sailing close reach, which isn't too bad, and winds were mostly light, 10 to 12, and they've picked up recently. We're going pretty fast the last couple hours, averaging more than 7. The first several hours was a little slower than that, but it's been great. And it looks like I might be the one who gets to enjoy the sunset. First day. Heating up some dinner, rice with chicken and mushrooms, and then I'm gonna try and get some rest. Oh, I think we got a reef. I'll rest later.
You might want to put a reef in.
Okay, I'll be right out.
Let's watch it for a little bit, but it just went up into 18 and 19.
Okay. Well, winds picked up. We went ahead and reefed. So all is good. We're sailing really fast. We're probably going to hit the first waypoint a little bit ahead of schedule. But now it's my time to rest. So Bob's out their helmet for about 3 hours, and then I set my alarm. And while still barely in cell range off the coast of Puerto Rico, our alarms start going off on our phones, announcing a curfew just being implemented on Puerto Rico.
A bit of a rough night. The wind's a little bit more in front of us than we were hoping for, I think. Supposed to veer tomorrow. See if that really happens. Double reefed all night. This morning the winds dropped a little bit. I took the reef out, and as soon as I did that, I went back up to 18 and 20 and 22, and that's where we still are now. So it's a handful. We're trying to not give up any of our north here. The captain wants to keep some good distance off the lee shore of the DR in case we have an issue. So we're trying to keep a good 10 miles off. But this wind sure wants us to point more south.
Winds have veered slightly. We're almost on a beam reach, and the winds have softened a bit too, so it's a bit more comfortable sailing.
Fresh papaya with lemon juice. Really hits the spot. If only I had a free hand to operate the spoon. Let me try this without falling down. Should it?
You want to eat it sitting down?
That's cheating. Oh, that's yummy. The wind veered a little bit more, and we're on a regular old beam reach now. Nice and comfortable. Oh, the wind got nicely around behind us last night. Seas flattened out when we got in the lee of some of the banks like Navidad Bank and Silver Bank. Got very flat. Had a really lovely overnight sail last night. Linda did most of it, and I slept through most of it. This morning the wind continued to veer a little bit more behind us and lighten up a little too much. And on top of that, we are no longer in the lee of those banks, so we're getting rolled a little bit now. So it kind of became impossible to continue sailing. We just dropped the main, and we rolled up the reacher a little while ago. And we're just going to motor for a while. We are a little lean on electrons anyway, so we'll make some power while we're doing this. But we got a beautiful sunrise right behind us. Everything is going well. Our second night was really comfortable. I did a long night shift from about 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., so Bob got a good rest. And seas were calm. We sailed a little bit slow, but it was a really nice night. And then I got a good rest from about 3:30 in the morning till a little while ago. So I had a good 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and I splurged and took a shower, so I'm feeling good. We're motoring right now, waiting for the winds to pick up, and seas are kind of lumpy, so the motion of the boat's not that great. Looks good. We're doing 7.8, 8 knots, and the wind's behind the beam. All good. Nice sailing today. I think it's Tuesday. So one more night to get through tonight. And things are going to pick up tonight, but I think we've both gotten some good rest. Look forward to arriving tomorrow morning.
sure what customs will present, but hopefully Bahamas will let us in.
We are flying. Got the wind way behind the beam, like 14 to 18 knots. 150 Genoa's out, the full main's out, and we got these waves we're surfing down that are just like the perfect frequency. Going over 10 knots sometimes down these waves. Hardly seen below 8 all afternoon. We approached Inagua a little bit ahead of schedule, and we spent the last few hours trying to slow the boat down so we could arrive after sunrise. And this is really why they call it a quarantine flag. We hope so much that they let us put up a Bahamian flag. Oh, do we hope they let us.
Well, the customs office here in Great Inagua, Bahamas, definitely taking the COVID-19 situation seriously. As soon as I walked into the office, they made sure we kept a physical distance, and I had to sanitize my hands and complete a health form for both of us.
I am so relieved that we are raising the Bahamian flag. It's a bit tattered. No disrespect intended, Bahamas. We'll try to replace it with a new one. But as of now, we were able to clear in. That may change after today, according to the guys in the customs office. Parliament is meeting today to maybe do some more restrictions. But as of now, the rumors were unsubstantiated. Cruisers can get into the Bahamas. There it goes. We really got to replace it. It's pretty awful. Now that we were cleared in, the plan was still to try and enjoy the Bahamas, maybe on a slightly accelerated schedule. But very soon we started getting some very grim news from home and decided we wanted to be home and close to our families and friends as quickly as possible. So right away we started looking for a window to do a 3-day passage offshore directly to Florida.